Hey everyone, Alan Nichols with Last on the Bandwagon. If you want to learn more about drums, drummers, egg coffee, idle hands, the abundance of surgeons driving around on our streets, coronavirus, COVID, whatever you want to call it, Hanoi Rocks, Bombenkinder, House Slammers, memory loss. Did I already say memory loss? And Jesus. So if you watch this video, you might get something out of it. I know you will. This is Alan Nichols with Last on the Bandwagon. This is my little show I promised that I was going to do. Hopefully I can make a lot of these things with the ransacked gear that I have in my little makeshift spaceship I have here. This, if you could see how this is all set up, you would be amazed. And, you know, I'm using this crappy little camera, which I have to sit here in a weird angle and do all this stuff. But anyway, this is my first show, and I have a very good friend with me. I think you can see him right there, over there. There he is, Eric Surratt. He is the drummer of Bombenkinder, my bandmate. We've known each other for a really long time. We played in another band together back when we were much younger, and I thought, who better to have on this first episode than you, dude? You've been around for a long time.
It's an honor and a privilege to be your initial inaugural guest. Alan.
Yeah,
it is. So
Thank
happy
you.
to be here, man. How's everything?
I'm doing well, man. I'm having a little bit of memory issues today, and I'm not really sure why. I was having a lot of problems like this. For example, this morning, I went to the store to see if I could find some coffee that I like. And I get in there and some dude starts talking to me about my tattoos. And instead of me being able to articulate what it was or why I had, he was saying, what's this stay awake thing about? So I'm like, and it's at that exact moment I realized I didn't have my wallet with me. It was out in the car. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to pay for, like, if I have enough cash in my wallet or my pocket. And, it's like my mind starts swimming, and then I'm talking to him and he's looking at me like, are you okay, man? And I'm complete. Oh, and before that, I actually walked into the store without a mask on, and nobody stopped me. Like, nobody said to me, hey, sir, whoa, you gotta put a mask on. Like, I was actually talking to employees as I was walking in. They're like, do you want a basket? No, I don't think I'll have a basket today. So I'm all the way in Wegmans, doing my shopping, and I realized that I don't have a mask on. Everybody in there is looking at me like, what's up with you, man? You don't have a mask on. Right. So my memory today has been really bad. It's like people are asking me questions, and I'm completely like, I don't even know what to say. I'm lost today. Maybe my electrolytes are off, and probably isn't a good day to do this interview, to be honest.
Maybe we should drink some bone broth, man.
Yeah, some bone broth, or maybe some more black coffee. Oh, and speaking of
Does
coffee,
that have electrolytes in it?
Not really. Not that I know of. Not naturally.
Yeah, I know bone broth does.
Well, so speaking of coffee, this morning I made my my egg latte that you told me about. You showed me how to make it. You told me how to make it. Mm-hmm. So I made it, and I made it with eggs, a little bit of half and half, and a little bit of butter. And the thing is that I left the eggs and I left the creamer out all night on top of the refrigerator. So I made it with eggs and creamer that were sitting out the entire night. But I figured, what could happen?
Yikes.
What's the worst that could happen?
I don't think it's going to be bad overnight. It's not like it's that warm out. I
No.
actually did yesterday. I made coffee with 2 eggs, and it was a little bit much. It filled me up, to say the least. I mean, if
Little
I was doing it as a supplement, that would be good. But I was having it with breakfast, so
right.
it was a bit heavy on the tummy.
Yeah, so for everyone who for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, it's basically you take a raw egg, you put it in a blender or a bullet. I put a little bit of cream and I put a little bit of butter. And then what I do is I pour a cup of hot coffee in that and throw that thing on blend as fast as I can, and it froths up exactly like a latte. It's pretty good. And it's a good, like you just said, it's a good supplement to having breakfast or along with a, like a salad or something. It's pretty good. So we're all into the health thing. So how are you feeling health wise? How are you holding up
I'm
under these stressful, tense times that we're going through right now?
I'm fine. I'm going out and I'm walking. I do a walk as soon as I wake up in the morning. This morning I walked like 3.5 miles. I came home, ran some errands, drank some coffee, and then I went did some laps in the pool. So I'm staying active, and then after this, I have a couple little home projects that I have to do. I have to chip up some old floor tile in my basement that I no longer wish to have. And it's time for it to go and to be replaced with something else. So I'm holding up pretty well, man. The girls are here. I have 2 daughters, and we're hanging out and spending a lot of time with them,
Yep, good
and
quality
I'm
time.
liking it. I'm
Good.
liking that. Yes, with nothing that I have to do or they have to do, except for their homework. But their homework's
Right. And
really Tuesdays and Thursdays, pretty much.
I think that this whole thing, this whole lockdown thing, I hear this a lot from everybody that I talk to, and they actually are enjoying this time to hang out, to be with their family members, and to spend this time that they normally weren't getting to spend. I mean, you get to know people even that you think really well. Like I've been here, everybody here has been sick for almost 2 months, so that's been my focus. It's kind of
Yeah.
the reason why this has been delayed. um and it's hard to do these recordings when you have what I call the slammers that you live with. These guys will We have no slam toilets, and they can slam them. Like everything, like a coffee mug, anything has to be slammed down, like they're Vikings, or anything with a door drawer. I've had to replace the microwave door handle before because they ripped it off. So those things get on
Goodness.
my nerves. But the thing is that I am enjoying it. I am enjoying being around everybody. So I'm with you. And the good thing is that you don't have idle hands right now. You're staying active, you're staying busy, because this is probably affecting a lot of people with emotional issues. You're thinking about money, you're thinking about, what am I going to do? I was laid off. I was furloughed, and then I was fired right after that. So I know that
Yeah.
you had a similar situation with your furlough for you. So what's the prospect for you going back to work? Because for me, there is no industry. There's no live events industry. So anything that people were doing is
Yeah.
piecemeal type
Yeah.
stuff, like
Uh,
streaming things.
yeah. That sucks for you. Uh, with my job, I'm calling every couple of weeks my supervisor and seeing what's going on. Either jobs haven't started up because of this virus thing, or jobs are shutting down because of the virus things. And
Right.
so we're just hanging out. So I'm doing
Yeah.
unemployment. I have my youngest daughter has some asthma issues, so I'm not trying to get anyone in this house sick. So I don't
Yeah.
really have a problem um, chilling out and waiting for this thing to play its course if that's what it's going to do. Who knows,
Well,
man? This is all
how much of
it's all new
this do
stuff.
you right? How much of this do you think is how much of this is overreaction? Because here's the thing, I never realized how many surgeons lived in my area because I see people driving around with masks and gloves on, like they're rushing to go to surgery. I had no idea there was many hospital surgeons, ER surgeons that lived around here. They're everywhere. They're
Well,
everywhere. Everywhere I go, there's somebody like with a mat sitting there, like at their, like I've got to get to the ER. No, they're going to get some toilet paper. They're going to go stand in
yeah,
line to get toilet paper.
they're
Which,
scared.
by the way, yeah, they're scared. If you stand outside and you wait to get in to get anything, everyone's calmly waiting in line and everybody's distancing themselves. But the amazing thing is that the moment you walk across the threshold of the store, they will run past you, almost knocking you over to get down to get to the toilet paper. And I refuse to run. I refuse to like participate in it. If I get down there and there's none there, then there's none there. Or if I get some and I see somebody that really needs it, I'm like, here, take mine. But people act like animals, man. And they're scared over something that's already been here. It's going to be here. There's other things that are worse that are here. I understand taking precautions,
Yeah,
but you should have been washing your hands and coughing into your elbow and doing all the things that you should be doing anyway. And maybe some of this stuff would have been alleviated before all of
yeah.
this.
Well, we live in Maryland, and there's 3 million people here so far. 2 months in, uh, we have 1,100 deaths. They're saying over. It's really not. It's really not that scary to me.
I
Yeah,
just think the
I've
numbers
been
are
hearing
being
stuff
pumped.
about the CDC coming out and saying that they're inflated.
They are. And
I don't know. Not. I haven't done any
if
fact checking, but I've been seeing things.
look, it's common sense. And if anybody out there believes the government or anything that's tied to the government is telling you the truth at any point, then you're sorely mistaken. It's not happening.
I
We're not
agree.
getting the full story. We're being manipulated with this. And what sucks, like I said, is that an entire industry and other people, it's not just my industry. I, there's lots of other people that have lost their job and they don't know, even if they opened everything up tomorrow, they're still not going to have a job because there's still fear and no one's going to be doing certain, whether whatever realm it's in are not going to be doing they're not going to be doing live events and different things like that. People don't want to take the chance.
No.
They don't want to take the liability. They don't want to be blamed for somebody getting sick or somebody dying from a heart attack and then they call it COVID. I don't know. I mean, some of the things that I've been
Yeah.
hearing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's all pretty wacky.
right.
I'm hearing that some sports are getting ready to start back up or something with no audience or yeah, social
Yeah,
distancing
I
movie
mean,
theaters or whatever. It's just kind of it's weird.
which by the way, for our shows would really the attendance level of live shows nowadays, it's really no big deal. We're used to playing to a bartender and a and the staff. I mean,
Yeah.
some of
Well,
our
it
last
happens.
shows have been, there's been a lot of people in there, but we're used to it. We can handle it. We can do this. If
Yes,
it's
we can do
playing in
this.
front of one or two people, then we've done that before. We've rocked out. We know what
Yeah,
it's
I've seen
we
the
know what it's
I've seen the talk of I've seen the talk of drive-in like drive-in movies with drive-in concerts where
right.
it's pretty much a bunch of cars parking and then up to a stage, but there's nothing fun with that. There's
No,
no, it's not very
it
rock and
sounds
roll.
interesting though. It sounds like something I'd
Maybe
like
for a
to actually
symphony or
see.
something, but for a rock show, I have no interest
Right.
in like seeing Kiss do something. You know.
Yeah, yeah. When people send me a notification that they're playing a live stream, I'm like, boring.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know if I really am interested in seeing it. Listening to any interesting music lately? Because you're a big vinyl person, and I have to say that I feel like I'm the one that kind of sparked that back in you. Did I not? With the Fonzie record.
Yes. 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 You did. You
So
gave
what have you
me
been
my
listening to
first
lately?
a copy of my first record. I've been listening to a lot of Sirius XM, really.
Yeah,
A lot of
no
the
vinyl.
Octane channel, which is more of your new rock. No, no, no vinyl. I haven't bought any vinyl since this whole thing went down. Uh, the last two records I got, the name of the band is drawing a blank right now, but yeah, no
You
vinyl,
caught what I
vinyl,
have this
lots,
morning.
lot of radio.
Yeah.
What about you? What have you been listening to?
Okay, so funny you should ask that. So this morning I pulled out one of my favorite Hanoi Rocks albums, uh, Back to Mystery City. Let's see if I
Oh,
can
very
hold it up
nice.
there. I love this record. Um, I think what's really cool about it is it was produced by a couple of the guys from Mott the Hoopla. Remember them?
Yep.
Pete Watts. And this record actually was the first record that Razzle played on. This was 1983
Okay.
when this was released, and Miriam Stockley did some backing vocals on this, and she also did some stuff for Pink Floyd, which I'm not a Pink Floyd fan, but I thought it was interesting that
Right.
there was a connection there.
Hmm.
And it was interesting because I read a thing about how this album was reviewed, um, and it was being ripped for not having any hooks in it. These guys are so technical and hooky. I don't even know if the guy was actually really listening to the record at all because this thing's full of hooks.
Yeah.
And
Anything by that band was I liked.
yeah, and this is another one. I'm gonna plug this.
I like
This is
that record.
this is a beautiful
I
record,
approve.
and it's available if you go to our website or Bombenkinder Bandcamp. This vinyl record is jam packed full of little goodies. Um, this has a sticker in it. It has a poster. It has a download card. It has the liner notes. It's loaded, and every one of these records is packaged uniquely. It has its own unique packaging. No two are exactly the same, and it's a thousand times the speed of light is the name of the record. And this is our vinyl uh, release of this. So I'm pretty psyched about that.
Yeah, I want to
So
thank people for supporting us. I actually had to run out to the post office this morning to send away some packages. So thank you for your
that's right.
support, guys. Keep it up. Like Alan said, we have T-shirts, stickers, CDs, tons of shirts.
We have
Check it out.
lots of stuff. Yeah,
Continues to support your local rock and roll bands, man.
that's right. And I think that we're going through such a crazy time musically before all this stuff happened. You know how hard it is. I mean, for us, we
Yes,
go
I do.
we put a lot into doing what we do because we love it, obviously. I mean, we love doing this music. We love playing out. We love playing shows. I think I love doing that more than anything, and recording music. I love writing and recording it and playing the shows. I'm not a big I'm not a big hangout kind of guy. You know that about me. I
Hmm.
like to I like to play the show, talk to some people, and then kind of you know be alone. But you're more of a personable guy. I think people kind of are attracted to that, and you tend to be able to hang out a little bit more than I do. It's not that I have a problem with people. It's just there's something about it that I can't. I just maybe it's my autism or something I have that just causes me to just shut down. So how long have you been playing drums total? Like,
I've been
when did
playing
you start
drums.
playing?
I started playing at 13. So I'm going to guess that was I got my first drum set Christmas of 1982. So I've been playing since then. Uh, always, always loved playing. Still do. Uh, you know, as you get older, the carrying around of the drums becomes a bit
Yeah.
cumbersome. But I'm still learning. Actually, I picked up a book a couple weeks ago, Stick Control, which I believe it was written in the 30s.
Wow.
Great stuff. Just
Wow.
nothing but directional, left, right, right,
Yeah.
left,
Yeah.
stuff like that. The whole book, and it gets hard. You
That
do it
is
with
awesome.
metronome, and you just repeat, repeat, repeat until you got it down.
I think that all
So
of
it's something
us
to help pass the time and keep me physically
fit.
going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. I think all of us benefit from learning and trying new things, and I certainly do because I've been playing guitar every day since this thing has happened. So basically, I've gotten really good at playing crappy guitar, and I've been writing a lot of parts and putting them all down. But um, I think it's really cool that you're continuing to learn. So we also have a kind of a unique situation with our rehearsal because you play your acoustic kit, which is what kind of kit do you have?
It's a Pearl kit,
Yeah.
like about a 1990 Pearl kit.
So you have that Pearl kit, and then at rehearsal, we all play through a hub, and so there's virtually no noise inside our rehearsal space except for me horribly singing into the air. Um, and you're playing an electronic kit, which is pretty cool because it's opened up sounds and different things, and especially with your SPDSX sampler and all that stuff. So we've actually integrated that into our live set, which I think is really cool.
Yes, and the sky's the limit with exploring what that SPD can do.
All right.
It's just a matter. I really like to have somebody who's really familiar with that and with samples to sit down with them and see where to find these samples and
Right.
stuff like that. Because that's the thing, just finding sounds that I want to incorporate in that thing. But I very much love my electronic set. I have some Zildjian acoustic electric I think they're called Generation Sin 16 cymbals that work great with me. But I
Yeah.
do have a friend that recorded in the studio with a Roland cymbals, and their song went like pretty high up in the charts too. So
Wow.
uh,
So they
yeah, so
actually
the pros are
recorded
using
with
it.
that kit.
Yes,
Wow. Yeah, I
yes,
mean,
and it
it's
came out
amazing,
sounding great.
man. Logic, Pro Tools, all the different things that people have at their disposal now has changed. Like, I can't even imagine back when you and I played together in our first band that what we could have done with that technology. Like, even if it was just putting demos, and because we did a demo for this album, and I did a special mix for a radio interview that you and I did, web
Hmm.
interview, and I did the mix the night before. But you can't you think about that, man. It's an amazing feeling to be able to sit down, work out a mix, put it together, put it down, and then know that, like, after you listen to it for a little bit, you can go back in and change it, which can be a dangerous thing too, because you don't want to play around with something too long, and that tends to be what can happen really easy when you try to overwork something, because it loses what we all originally felt when we were writing it for the first time. It doesn't sound the same. So, um,
Yes, yes, and also recording your rehearsals have that game has changed.
yeah, yeah,
Changed because I remember all we had back set recorder.
Yeah.
overwhelmed by the sound to be able to remember what we had played. Uh,
Right.
so just the technology now is just off the hook, and
Yeah.
it's doing nothing but making everything a lot easier for
It's
all of
good
us.
stuff. It's good stuff, and it's making a real big difference. And hopefully we can continue to do this. I love the fact that we did this vinyl record because I love vinyl. I love the sound of it. It feels it just has this legitimacy. I mean, I remember whenever I would buy whatever record it was, you know, you couldn't pick and choose. It wasn't this disposal society. You bought a record, you brought it home, and you listened to the whole record from start to finish. And you bought all the songs because if you bought the record, you're getting all the songs. You're not picking and choosing like we
Yeah.
do with iTunes and all these other different formats. And the amazing thing about vinyl is that you could sit there and get lost in this record cover. And that's what I wanted to do with the artwork and the photography on this record cover and inside of it and the back of it. I wanted there to be substance to it, so you could sit down and you could reminisce about those old days where you would sit there and just stare at a cover for hours looking for little pieces and parts and things that you didn't see the last time. And on this record in particular, the Bombenkinder record, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that you could spend, like the young me would have looked at this record and been like, wow, and really had something substantial to sit there and look at. So I'm really happy that we did it, and hopefully we can put another one together, vinyl wise. So
I'm really happy that we did it too.
so I am going to wrap this up. Basically, oh, and I wanted to mention this. I always said that I was gonna take my faith and interject that into this. And I know, you and I have talked about some stuff before, and I kind of know where you stand. So when you look at me and you think back about the days, because you and I have been involved in a lot of stuff, and
Mhm.
you think back at the old me, would you ever think that I would be where I'm at today? Do I seem any different to you? Do you think that I've become a different person? Do you what do you think?
You definitely became a different person, man. Back when we jammed before in the '90s, uh, I don't know if I've ever like told you this, but you were one of those guys that I could see like coming to your house and like finding you dead in the bathtub or something, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Uh,
know.
it just seemed that's the way it was back then. Not that you were crazy or extreme with anything like substances or any of that, and there was no extremism with that. Um, but you had some issues,
Yeah.
and now you've found something that has done nothing but help you and improved you. So man,
Yeah.
kudos to you. Hey,
Yeah. Well, today is a pretty cool day for me because today is the day that I actually finished reading the Bible from start to finish, which for me in itself is pretty amazing since I can't even read a comic book from from front to back without falling asleep. So I've read the book um, from cover to cover. I've also been studying it, which is different than reading it because if you sat somebody down and said, "Hey, read this," they're going to be confused and they're going to be like, what does this mean?" Um, and so studying it and reading it are two completely different things. But so I'm still studying it. I will reread it over and over and over, and I will continue to study it. So my goal with this video and the videos that are coming out is I want to reach people to let them know that if you're in a place in your life where you feel like you're hopeless, whether you're messed up on drugs or you're having depression or you're having anything that is destructive in your life, that you can change it, and it can easily be done, and I believe that it's through Jesus. So Eric, I want to thank you for being on this show, for taking the time out of your day, and because the reason why I asked you to do this is because I love you and I know that you're on board with me. So
Absolutely.
I really appreciate you doing this with me. And I think once I get this whole thing hammered out and I get better at doing this show and I have more of a format and it's not so flaky, then I'm going to have you back again and we'll talk again and we'll kind of tighten it up. But like my friend Dimitri said,
Sounds
he's
good.
like, just go for it. He's like, don't think about any of this. Just go for it. Do it. And just get it done. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to roll forward and I'm going to do these and then we'll move to the next one and see what happens. So I'm probably going to have you come back on if you'd be into doing it. And
yeah, definitely. I'll be more prepared next time. I have some maybe some visuals or something for you.
yeah, man, you got to bring some PowerPoint slides, some record cover sleeves like I did. I actually probably
Some
put too
charts,
much thought into this. Yeah. Flow charts, all that stuff. I'll bring some stats next time for COVID-19 to give you the real numbers. So, all right, brother, I really appreciate it. And I want to say thank you to everybody that's watched this video that got through it. Maybe I'll hack it up and make it a little bit smaller. But until then, this is Last on the Bandwagon, and I can't wait to do another one of these. So, peace. See you, Eric.
Every time you cross my mind